The Host, adapted by Andrew Niccol from Stephenie Meyer's novel, is just as awful as Meyer's previous works and is a pretty disastrous low point in director Niccol's career. In the film's universe, Earth has been conquered by an alien race called souls, which are parasites that take control of their hosts by subjugating their minds. Melanie Strider, Saoirse Ronan, a young woman in the human resistance, is captured by the souls and implanted with a soul named Wanderer, in the hope that her memories will expose the resistance. But when Melanie resists being suppressed, Wanderer begins to sympathize with the resistance and value human free will. That synopsis makes The Host seem good, but it most emphatically isn't. This film has very flat acting from much of the cast, who play blandly, thinly written characters. The dialogue is corny, the two male love interests are dull to the point of being interchangeable, their motives keep flip-flopping, and the romance is not at all convincing, as the Melanie, Wanderer, Jared, Ian love square contains clunky, lukewarm chemistry and no reason for their attraction. And aside from Wanderer's mildly touching bond with Melanie's brother Jamie, this terrible romance is the main impetus for Wanderer's humanization. We're supposed to care about Melanie, who is effectively trapped inside her own head, but this is difficult because we hardly know who she is beyond very basic associations with the people around her, and her frequent voiceovers, as she talks with Wanderer, are incredibly snarky and obnoxious. The pacing is also pretty poor, as most of it is taken up by long, uneventful stretches and limp, uninteresting romantic drama. Diane Kruger tries her best to make her Seeker character menacing, but she doesn't feel like much of a threat, and the sense of danger from outside the Resistance secret cave settlement is fleeting and minor. The only conflict of any weight is in the issue of whether Wanderer will give Melanie her body back, but this, again, hinges on the lame romance. Wanderer's basic character progression has her siding with the humans through the power of love, but this arc is executed terribly. The Host's plot is also riddled with holes. The Seeker would have had no other lead to follow in finding Wanderer if Wanderer had thrown away an important piece of paper. Wanderer reveals that she is 1,000 years old and has lived in bodies from 8 different worlds, which begs the question of why she is only now questioning the morality of her lifestyle. In what will probably be the most unintentionally humorous scene of the year, Wanderer shows that you can safely extract a soul from a human body through kindness in the form of a gentle neck massage around the incision. When the Resistance does this to the Seeker, the use of kindness to coax the soul out completely invalidates the Seeker's characterization as more bitter and ruthless than the ordinarily benevolent Seekers. It's unsettling to see Wanderer and Melanie fall in love with men who tried to kill them, and the Soul Society is strangely easy to infiltrate by non-infested people wearing sunglasses. Finally, after Wanderer consents to being removed from Melanie's body, she is placed inside the body of a test subject who the Resistance doctor had experimented on to remove souls. Even if the test subject, who is named Pet for some reason and played by Emily Browning, had been made brain-dead by the earlier removal of her soul, Wanderer had stolen a bunch of the soul's advanced cure-all medicine that could probably have healed Pet. The film never establishes the limits of the soul's medicine, and in the beginning, we see that a single spray could heal a critically injured body with every bone broken and every organ ruptured. The film hand-waves away the fact that Pet was dying by forgetting about the major medicine plot point, which means that Wanderer was placed inside a body that very likely still has a dormant mind within it. This oversight thus negates the film's emphasis on free will and how unjust the soul's lifestyle is, and makes the human characters hypocrites. This is only a minor complaint, but The Host is also very visually uninteresting. The Twilight films at least had consistently good cinematography, but the only visuals The Host provides are featureless deserts, drab caves, and stark, sterile cities with chrome-tinted vehicles. There is nothing striking or eye-catching to look at in this film. The Host just has a very bland, vanilla aesthetic. But I did like a couple of parts in the film. As I said before, I kinda liked the subplot with Wanderer and Melanie's brother Jamie, as I was a little worried about his survival. If this had replaced or taken precedence over the romance, then The Host might have been genuinely moving and engaging. William Hurt has some measure of charisma and dignity as Melanie's Uncle Jeb, putting in more effort than the film deserved. The scene of a couple of resistance members being detected on the road and then killing themselves rather than being captured and infested was somber and surprisingly intense, and feels like it came from a different, darker movie. And the fact that the Seeker's host was influencing her to find the resistance in the hope that the host could be freed is a decent and sort of clever plot twist. Unfortunately, none of those aspects save the film. The Host is overall a very slow, tedious, visually weak film with laughable romance and terrible writing and performances, but it's too lifeless and devoid of substance for me to get angry at it. Take my advice, watch the 2006 Host movie instead. The Host from South Korea is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I love it because it's a monster movie of the kind that I grew up with when I was little, but it's also exceptionally well written, directed, and acted, and offers just as much biting social commentary, dark humor, and engaging character drama as it does thrilling, suspenseful action. The Host from 2006 is a great movie, but The Host from 2013 is pretty crap. The Host from 2013 earns 2 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.